Good afternoon. We are here at Digital Travel Summit 2024 with Dariel Han, co-founder LFG. How are you doing this afternoon?
Hi, nice to meet you. Thanks for having me.
Yes. Okay. So first up, let's talk about your experience so far here in the summit.
Sure. So the summit's been very interesting for me, actually. This is my first travel conference, actually.
Okay.
I mean, at the end of the day, LFG, it's the first time going, this is the first year I've gone full time on it. So exploring the whole travel scene, really, for the first time in depth. So being back in Singapore, got invited to this as a speaker. So it's been a great opportunity, a lot of learnings, connecting with travel industry people has really sort of opened up new insights for me. So it's been good in that sense.
That's really nice. Can you explain a little more about your product service?
Yeah, sure. So LFG, what we're trying to build is a discovery engine, ultimately, that brings personalized travel and lifestyle recommendations for new age travelers in that sense. When I say new age, it's Gen Z and late millennials, sort of like 18 to 31-year-olds. Those are our sweet spots.
Okay. And how is it revolutionizing travel planning with its innovative use of technology?
Yeah. So when people talk about travel planning, the first thing in mind tends to be itinerary planning, itinerary building. And that is one aspect that LFG plans to tackle. But where we're really trying to go down further, like we're trying to go to the origin source. Before someone actually goes on a trip, what are they doing? They're getting passive inspiration, right? They're going through social media, they're talking to their friends, they're looking on YouTube, on Reddit and whatnot. But this whole origin point is so fragmented. It's so all over the place. There's countless TikTok videos, Instagram. You search on Google. There's so much to filter through. So, and then even then, once you get ideas, right? Where do you put it? You send them on WhatsApp, Telegram. You put it on iPhone notes. It's all over the place. So, sorry. LFG's real innovation is really starting from that discovery process. What we're trying to do is streamline, simplify that process and hyper-personalize it. So when you search something in your natural language, what you're going to get is content from LFG itself, community type content, unlock some hidden gems of what local type hidden gems. But then you also get TikTok, Instagram type content so that you don't really break away from your habit. You know, at the end of the day, you can't beat Instagram and TikTok for content production. But we aggregate that information, all the reviews, all the comments, whatnot, that you can filter through on one platform, bookmark it, organize it from there, and then turn it into an itinerary, turn it into a curated list or whatnot, but based on the actual things that you want to do. So LFG's innovation really starts from that inspiration source, that's that point of discovery, and then capturing the rest down the line.
Wow, that's nice. Okay, another question that I have is, what's the story behind the name? I'm sure you ought to have some story behind it.
Sure.
Right.
So I think everyone knows what LFG might stand for already. Let's just say, let's freaking go for now, for the sake of this. So really, okay, why? Well, the origin of the name comes with like the origin of LFG in itself. So my co-founders and I, we met in Vietnam on an exchange trip. It's like an exchange trip, but with like an internship, like an entrepreneurial startup internship attached. It's called the NUS Overseas College Program. So we went to Vietnam for 6 months, and as all exchange students do, you travel every weekend. You don't stay. You don't stay in the city. You go to the beach. You go for hikes and whatnot. So there was one spontaneous trip. We went to Da Nang in Vietnam, a beach town, like a beach mountain kind of city. We went there spontaneously, met up on a Saturday morning, and no plans were made. You know, like we rocked up and we're like, okay, where do we get breakfast? And even once we get to breakfast, you know, that took a while to pick. Then we sit down breakfast, like, okay, so what's the plan for the day? Like, what are we doing in Da Nang? So there's this sort of like concept of spontaneity. And, you know, at first, the very first idea of LFG was something like the Google "I'm feeling lucky" kind of pardon?
Yes, yes.
The very first idea of LFG was actually like a I'm feeling lucky, but like we called it let's effing go. So if you clicked on it, it would just spit you random recommendations, and then you just go ahead with your day and pick out of those. That was the very first concept of LFG. I think there's still elements of that that's relevant to us at the same time in terms of that spontaneity. But I mean, it's evolved more from that now. But I think the brand, the name, at the end of the day still sticks. You know, it's a very Gen Z, new age traveler type vibe. Well, not even that. I mean, just in general, like if you see Deadpool and Wolverine, they're literally saying "Let's effing go." You know, it's just to get hyped about a trip, about something that you're looking forward to. So yeah.
True, but do you not face any challenges in the professional market with the name?
Not actually. Well, in the university ecosystem, yes. But in the professional market, not really. People buy into it. People love the branding. I think if anything, the branding is like a very big asset for us. But you know, when we're pitching at university competitions, or you know, trying to get university grants, there's a bit of like a taboo there. But it's bypassable. At the end of the day, you can say effing or freaking, or you can change it up a bit. It's adjustable, and that's why we tend to say LFG. We don't say the full thing.
Okay. And what are the target countries that you're operating in?
Target countries, really, it's Asia Pacific, and I would say like sort of like Southeast Asia, like kind of like hotspots in Southeast Asia, including like, you know, Singapore, Thailand, Malaysia, Vietnam, Indonesia, whatnot, the usual. A bit of Asia, when I say Pacific and all that, as well as like Japan, Korea, Australia, because those are really popular destinations. We realized that we shouldn't miss out on. Like at first we wanted to just focus on Southeast Asia, but then you see the numbers of tourists wanting to go to Japan, Korea, and even Australia, that's, you know, climbing like sort of like the top 10 places to visit in APAC these days. You just can't not include those in, you know, so we cover those countries for now.
Okay. Lastly, how are you leveraging AI on your platform?
So AI comes in from two aspects. One is the search bar itself. So we call it like an AI-powered search engine to some extent. Like we say recommendation / discovery engine. So AI-powered in the sense that it hyper-personalizes the search. It reads the natural language. So it's not like, how do I call it? It's not like old school kind of like keyword type search where you type in like 3 words. The idea is that you can type exactly what you think, you know, hey, I'm craving the best, I don't know, street curries in Bangkok, for example. And then what this AI powered search to, this vector search bar as we call it, what it does is scrape content from our platform, pulls content from Instagram, whatnot, aggregates it basically into like a personalized feed for you.
Wow.
To then, you know, filter through, go through it yourself, basically discover the best street curries in Bangkok, for example. So that's where the first part of AI comes in. The next part comes in the itinerary building part. So as I mentioned, once you discover these places from our feed, from the search output, the search results, you then maybe want to organize it into like your own place list, we call it.
Yeah.
Exactly. So it's like it's our take on the Spotify music playlist. We call it playlist. So you can curate your own playlist, and once you have your playlist, which is more or less a wish list, you know, you can click like, hey, optimize this playlist into a more optimal route, more schedule, like give me suggestions more or less. So the itinerary that we're trying to like generate here is somewhat of a natural thing. Like we're not trying to force you to do something that you don't want. It's based on stuff that you've already curated yourself. Okay. And then we just optimize it. We put it in a schedule based on the location, based on where your hotels is, and based on your, you know, certain travel preferences, like your capacity, your, I don't know, are you a slow-paced traveler, are you a fast-paced traveler? So there's certain inputs that you can put in, and then we tailor that itinerary based on those.
Yeah. Makes sense. Okay. Thank you so much.
No worries.
Thank you for coming to Travel and Tour World.
No, thank you so much. Wonderful. Thank you.